In today's video, I'll be building floor 18 of Citadel of the Infinite Abyss, Ring 3 Citadel. This is the finale of the Citadel, so this is the final building video of the series, but not the final video of the series, because there's going to be one more where I play the whole Citadel start to finish, which of course will be next week, so please subscribe so you don't miss that. Now, there's not going to be a teleporter, like from the floor select to floor 18, because from the previous video, floors 15 through 17, right here you press the button and button deactivator. That would make the Abyss start chasing after you. And I just played through this whole section of gameplay, which by the way I finished floor 17, and I guess a little bit of floor 18. And so once you get to this point, the Abyss is about right here. So what I'm going to do for the gameplay on this floor is we're going to do, like, you know, Maze of Wraparounds gameplay, like I was going to do on floor 5, but I didn't. So I guess you can go to here. But we'll put an insta-kill right there, because why not? Now when you build the type of gameplay I'm about to build, you can put a lot of gameplay in a small amount of space. But it isn't going to be too much, because, you know, there is the time limit and I don't want it to be super tight. But we'll be making it take a little bit longer than if I were to just build the parkour normally. So we'll start with the jump to there. And I guess I can just sort of build a layout, sort of like I would for building an actual maze. Alright, so it's not even really going to take up the whole floor, just this much. So now what I want to do is decide the height of this, which can maybe be that. And then these ones I want to go all the way up to the ceiling. I can also use snap to grid to make this more efficient, so it's 31 studs tall. I should make it be snap to grid 30. However, I don't want you to be able to jump to the platforms here, which you probably could by going into climbing animation. So now I'm going to set my snap to grid to 7 and do this so that they're like higher up and you can't jump to them except from like a truss or whatever, which I'll put, or I actually want you to be able to do that. You know, I'm going to change this jump to be a 1 stud instead, and we'll make you enter the section through here. Okay, so you can do that jump, but I don't really like it as a half stud. That seems like it would be way too hard. I don't want this floor to be a huge difficulty spike or anything, because, you know, you would be getting pretty nervous at this point. I'd like it as a 1 stud. Then you can jump like that. Then I'll do another 1 stud. You jump to right here with a thingy after this. You know, a jump like this where you gotta, like, do that. Right here I'm gonna do a moving part jump where you gotta, like, you know, avoid the moving part. Place it like this, but it's like 1 stud below here. That way I can do this and it looks slightly better. And I'm not going to put any easing style on this, but I will make it move pretty fast. Probably even faster than that. Maybe not that fast though. There, 0.5 works. Okay, on this upper section, I'm going to put a platform here. And I'll put like a truss thingy. But it's going to be a normal part like this, you know, like this. So, yeah. You know what I'm going to do for decoration? So, since floor 11, I think, I've been using like a brighter pink neon compared to this color neon like I used for the first 10 floors. How about on the last floor it's like red? Doesn't that look so cool? Although I'm gonna make it be 0.5 transparency. That's why I'm making neon be inside trusses, because it looks better. Okay, we can have a truss flick around here onto a half stud ledge like this. Then I'm gonna put a 6 stud wraparound, but it's like a stick out wraparound by 0.5. Actually, I'm gonna do this also to make it more like that. So next up, there's going to be a button here you got to get to, I guess, activate a truss that will take you up to here. Apparently I forgot to change the size of this platform, but that's fine. I'll just make it be a head hitter or something. Alright, so I built the parkour that leads up to the button, and then when you press the button, there's going to be a jump scare. So you think you're going to press the button and it'll activate this beneath you, but in reality, it's not. You're going to fall, or so you think. It'll activate this teleport pad, which will teleport you here. And it'll also activate the truss that leads up to there, or whatever. So how about I make these studs that I placed earlier be button activated? Because I think you should be able to jump to them from here. Maybe. Okay. Now you should. Alright, so after this, is it possible to make that wraparound? Probably not. Or even if it is, it's way too hard. So instead, I'll make it so you jump here. There we go. Then I can put a wraparound to there. Just pretend I actually make the jump. There we go. And then so that you actually have to jump to here first, I can make it so that, I guess, that jump. So you'll jump to this 1 stud, which should not be possible from here, which it's not. Therefore, you have to do that. Okay. Alright, now I'm going to put some falling platforms, which I just copy and pasted from the previous floor, because there were some of these on the previous floor. I'll put 2 of them, I guess, and you jump to here, followed by a difficult wraparound to there. Let me just make it not be too difficult. There, that should be fine. Okay, then what I wanted to do here was a push box section. So I'm going to take a platform like this. Hopefully this isn't possible. It doesn't look like it. So the push box resetters will look like they do back here on floor whatever this was. I think that was floor 6. I think the reason I made them bricks was so that you wouldn't confuse them with the button activated parts or something. But anyway, you'll basically do this. And I guess I'll just have it so it respawns it to right here. But obviously you don't want to waste too much time. And then I guess the button this leads to can be the self-destruct button for the Citadel, which will look like it did on Citadel of Eternal Corruption. I'll go look at that in a minute. Let me just set up the pushbox resetter button and stuff. So what this button did, it was a make objects visible button for 10 seconds that activated these spinning parts. I don't know why I did that, but okay. And also this bridge with an intentionally not long enough time to reach the wind pad that isn't actually even the wind pad. It also had this music part that played like wind sounds. We're not going to do that here, but because I'm lazy and don't want to type the text again, I'm just going to save this as a pre-made, but apparently I need another part for that. Okay, there we go. Hopefully it actually saves the text. I don't see why it wouldn't though. Okay, so now place the pre-made. I can delete this random part I don't need, and then just rotate this correctly. Now I might regret making this a push box button, because it's only really going to work as a push box button if I don't need to make it 2 buttons for whatever reason, such as make objects visible, make objects invisible, which I think I am going to need it to be both of those. So what I'm going to do instead is make this be just a normal push box button that activates some platforms leading to the self-destruct button, which will be over here. And that's just going to be like a button the player presses, and so that's easier to make it be multiple things. What I need to not do is put the button like on one of these walls, because then you'll be able to press it by clipping your arm through the wall on this other side here. Alright, there, got that working. So it'll activate these 1 studs. I think you already saw that before that cut, but I rotated them and changed the color. So now I'm going to take the self-destruct button and move it over here. So unlike Citadel of Eternal Corruption, when you press this, it's not basically going to be the end of the Citadel. You're still going to have like 1 more section before the end. So now it's time to build that, but first I'm going to test to make sure you have enough time, like with the Abyss coming after you. Okay, I got that working, and I nerfed some jumps that take forever because you have to line them up. So that made parkour that leads up to this point shorter, which should give you enough time. So what's going to happen when you press this button is that you'll gain increased walk speed and jump power, and also the Abyss insta-kill will deactivate. So you got to run back through the Citadel, back to here, where you'll fall into the black hole, which will take you to ring 4. And that was from this comment. I originally was going to have it so that you would go all the way back to, I guess, here, or maybe floor 3, but I like this idea better. And by the way, the comment says the soul crushing of Ring 4 is themed over planets. If you haven't been following my recent community posts, I've been doing those daily, which is epic. But I was giving hints about the Ring 4 soul crushing name, and it's Tower of the Planets. But the theme of Ring 4 isn't really planets, that's just the Citadel. I mean soul crushing. I've said that wrong so many times, but I probably cut it out. The soul crushing towers don't really have anything to do with the storyline, but I still like this idea anyway, so we're gonna do that. So we're gonna have 2 buttons here. This red cylinder is already a button, and then here's another one. So one of them is gonna be make objects visible, the other one's gonna be make objects invisible. I'll move this over a little bit so it'll be easier to select for now. So let's see, they're both gonna have infinite time, similar to over there. I'm gonna make the visible button be make objects visible, and the invisible button be make objects invisible. Doesn't that just make so much sense? So how do I want to do this? I do want there to be dialogue, like right after this happens. When you press this, one of the things that's going to be deactivated is a part here that'll let you walk to here, where Shark will say something. I'm going to use wedges because it's supposed to be like broken, I guess. So now I have 0.1 snap to grid. That'll move it in on both sides by 0.05. That way when I place a part over here, you won't see any Z fighting or anything. Okay, so the make objects invisible button, the first thing it deactivates is that. So when you press this, that goes away. Alright, I just added this. Shark says, run, we gotta escape the Citadel. Now, I don't want it to be that you can just go on top of the Citadel. I could maybe have it deactivate everything at the top of here, but then you could just go across the edges. But that would probably take a while, and there's gonna be an insta-kill chasing after you. It's gonna be pretty much the Abyss chasing after you, but it's just an insta-kill because I don't feel like adding that effect again, and because it costs like $1 zillion. So instead it's just going to be 1 insta-kill. And I guess it kind of fits what's happening right now because it's just like things are falling apart. So one of those is that insta-kill. So yeah. So okay, it's going to deactivate the roof. And so you can run across here, but it'll probably be kind of hard to do that. And if you were careful enough to not fall off, then you'd take too long. So, because it's going to be moving pretty fast. And remember, we just got to get to here. I guess there will just be like an invisible conveyor or something. You know, I'm going to keep these 3 top sections, because you're going to go on top here, actually, and then it'll, like, teleport you into an invisible conveyor thingy. You'll see. Yeah, I guess it'll make it so you have to go out here to get the increased walk speed and jump power. You know, we're also going to need a 3rd button. This time, it's going to be activate parts. That's to make the moving parts start. Alright, so I put the moving insta-kill here. It's going to be made visible by the make objects visible button, and it's going to be activated, like to make it start moving, by the activate parts button. And it's going to move all the way over here. It doesn't really need to go the length of the whole Citadel, just past this point. So I can test that. Maybe. Okay. I don't think I pressed this button because, like, it's just not in the right position yet, but yeah, it does work. Alright, so out here, there's these platforms, and then there's the speed booster and the jump booster. But now I need to make the invisible conveyor thing, and it can't really be button activated because it's invisible, so if I just button activated it, then it would make it be not visible. I mean, it would make it be visible, not invisible. I could make it already be there, and then it gets deactivated when you enter the obby slot, and then reactivated by a button deactivator, but I'm just gonna make it invisible. That seems easier, unless I have to make it be not that. But I don't think I will. Like, we'll have the wall activated, and then this happens, and then, yeah. The wind pad can be, like, right here, a little bit above the black hole. That way you can't jump to it during this section, and then it'll deactivate your walk speed and jump power, so you can't move off of here. And then you'll fall right here to the wind pad, wherever that is, which will be invisible, by the way. Would need another teleport pad. I guess this is probably the best location. From here, it's not possible to reach this teleport pad any lower, and you would. Even if, like, I did this, you would still be able to jump to it. So, alright, so this seems to work well. We have the teleport pad here that teleports you to this conveyor, and there's also this wall, because you might be, like, still moving, so that prevents you from just flying off of there. So your walk speed and jump power will be set to 0 here, and so you just go across the conveyor, fall off onto this teleporter, which will teleport you to the wind room. Okay, let me give this a test. So I'm gonna press all these buttons, and it should start moving. Yeah, I set it to be 60 seconds. It's definitely gonna have to be more than that. Or I set an easing style. I might do that. So you'd run across all of this, although some of this is probably gonna be button deactivated, but not if you use the floor select. So there's not really anything I can do about that, so I guess it's okay. Okay, so then you would jump here, you'd get teleported there, and there. Okay. There's still a few things I need to fix, so like you could run underneath this teleporter, which I obviously don't want, so it's impossible to avoid this teleport pad. Oh, and I also made it so that these are connected to the make objects invisible button here, that way they deactivate. So yeah, I think I'm done with the Citadel now. I mean, I'm still gonna add some detail to floor 18 and build the lobby and wind room, but now it's time to show this whole floor start to finish. So here's the update if you want to come play this. Alright, so I just played through the whole, like, section from floor 15 to here, so that the abyss is, like, in the correct place, or where it would actually be in a run, approximately. Anyway, so you do this, yeah, there's this truss, and then you gotta get to the button. I'll probably add an arrow that points this way, actually. And so then you jump to this one stud, and then here you gotta do a walk around, and then a wall hop. Not like that, though. There we go. And then you go back inside. I don't really know if that counts as an outside section. I mean, it does, but, you know, the whole thing is basically an outside section. So there was that teleporter jump scare thingy that I talked about earlier. Just like a bunch of wraparounds. This is mostly purist gameplay, actually. So no client objects, such as falling platforms. Keyword mostly. Alright, and then you have this push box thing. So if you went too slow, then you'll probably, the abyss will be like right near here at this point. So don't go too slow. So you press the push box button, which activates these one studs, and then you press these buttons. Oh right, I forgot to change the timer on there. Might it still be possible? Okay, it actually is. But yeah, that's the end pretty much. There's the teleporter, and currently it just does that, but I'll make it wind room. So yeah, that's gonna be the end of today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, please remember to leave a like and consider subscribing down below. Here's the other idea if you want to come play this. So next week's video, we'll be playing this whole Citadel start to finish. I'll probably premiere the video. So yeah, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that. I'll see you in the next video, and have a great day.